Welcome back to 13C. Today we're taking a look at some accessories from Misson First Tactical. We're going to go all the way from the stock, all the way up front here to the muzzle device. Starting at the front, we've got this 3-port compensator brake on here. It's got 2 ports on the top as well for venting gas out to the top. And we're actually going to test that out just a second here for the climb on that with this Fostech Echo trigger we have in our Spikes Tactical lower here. So this device is the E2ARMD4. We've had some fun with it thus far. Seems to do a pretty good job. Let's test it out though in combination with the rail. This rail is the TP15MRS. This is actually a really cool drop-in rail. Comes in about barely 4.8 ounces if I remember correctly. Just a drop-in replacement rail for any standard up front carbine type handguard up here. And you might want to get a tool to help you install this. Otherwise you can forcefully, and that's what I did, just pull your delta ring back here and drop them into place. You may need a second person to help you if you don't have that tool to help you hold that back while you actually drop these into place. But I wanted to touch on this before we got shooting, because this has no metal in here. There's no aluminum or anything. This is all polymer, which helps cut down on the weight and also cuts down on the price. The MSRP on this thing, as far as for a really inexpensive upgrade to change the look of your rifle, and this is, or was anyway, a very base Palmetto State upper. Standard, just base PSA AR-15 upper here that we've basically completely changed the look of with just a few things on here. Anyway, I mentioned not having aluminum in here because usually there's some sort of aluminum in there, at least a little bit, to deflect some of the heat, to help vent it out and protect your hands as you're shooting. They say, and I spoke to Misson First Tactical a couple times about this, and I've shot these not just here on this for the past couple months, but down in Florida as well, where I first ran into them at the Big 3 East and had a chance to speak with them in person. And anyway, they ran a ton of rounds for this, and I didn't really notice any issues that came up with it. So, being that it is absolutely frigid out here, we're not going to be able to do a full proper testing on that. You're going to have to check back in with us on our social media pages and whatnot as the year progresses and things warm up. But anyway, long way to say, let's dump some rounds through here right now with this Fostech Echo trigger. And anyway, at least help to warm my left hand up as we're talking about the rest of this here. I absolutely love that Echo trigger. Anyway, we were talking about Spikes Crusader lower here. There's peace, war, and God wills it on the indicators here. Paxis, Bellum, and Deuce Volt. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, that goes into our magazines that we've been testing here, these Misson First Tactical magazines, which, by the way, all of these accessories that you're seeing here are made in the USA, and they also come with Misson First Tactical's lifetime warranty. So let's talk about the stock for a minute here before we move over to the other rifle. So this is the Minimalist Stock with the NRAT strap, 6.3 ounces. You can put it on any matching commercial to commercial or mil-spec to mil-spec buttstock tube that you've got here, AR tube, be it 4-position, 6-position. Obviously make sure you're going mil-spec to mil-spec, commercial to commercial if you're getting one of these. This thing is solid as far as being on here. You guys have seen these. I've talked about them in the past. This is actually the first probably time you're seeing it with an NRAT strap on here. But these things are solid stocks, and they're probably one of my favorite stocks right now. And I've mentioned that in the past, or the past few months. I really dig these things. Very functional. They feel great, and you're not slopping and moving around as you play with it. They've kind of become one of my favorites. All right, since I'm going to keep shouldering this one, I'm not going to lay it down here in the snow. But we've got actually a nice ice pack. We had some heat come back and forth, so I can set the rifle down and it doesn't get completely buried. This is a 6.5 Grendel build that I did, and you can go back and check through some of the links on those if you want to see this guy in action. I didn't actually bring out any 6.5 Grendel with me here today, but I wanted to point out the grip here, and we'll have to get some better pictures in here for you. But this is the EPG27 grip, and it's actually a pretty cool little grip here. The point that I wanted to point out, part that I wanted to point out here was on the bottom, you've got this little tab that sticks out that actually mates up very nicely with the bottom of a standard AR lower, as this cutouts under here, this trigger guard. If you take the bottom one of yours, flip it over, you'll look and see exactly what I'm talking about. Comes up well on the back here also to fill the hand pretty nicely. I like that. I don't have, I probably would have just placed that onto this Spikes Tactical, but Spikes Tactical has the built-in trigger guard here, and it does not, it's flush right there, so it doesn't have that spot. Obviously I could have taken a Dremel tool to that one and put it on here if I wanted to, but this MOE grip does fine on here, that we have it already set up with. So one more thing I wanted to point out on our rail here is this QD slot right here on the left-hand side, what would be the left-hand side of the rifle and the rail. Which is nice to see. There's one that's included in there, so you don't have to take up an M-lock slot on here to replace that. You've also got this kind of modified forward hand grip, hand stop, if you like to run your hand far out. Probably also important to note, this is the A1 style front sight post here. There's also a rail gas block that was on the other one that also had this hand guard on it, so it does work on both styles of setups. Hopefully that answers a lot of the questions that you guys have had. You've seen a lot of this in previous videos and social media postings. We had some responses when we posted this video on the SIG Romeo 5 XDR here. That video will probably be 1 or 2 before this video that we're doing right now comes out, so if you want to check that out, Optics Planet is giving us a discount code off your entire order, and also off this OpMod variant here that's exclusive to them. So I had questions on that as well. Now that this video is done, I'm probably going to move this over to the rifle. It's going to sit on permanently, FDE project that I have. But anyway, still doing some more testing on it. Thanks everybody. Facebook.com/gun reviews. Keep those comments and questions coming. We really appreciate it. Instagram, we're at 13C Gun Reviews. I think we're going to wrap it up. I am freezing. It's really cold out here, and these gloves, at least my hands anyway, I can barely feel them at this point. These mechanics gloves, these wind resistant winter ones you guys see me use a lot, I use them mostly because of the dexterity factor. There's a decent amount of dexterity for the amount of protection from the elements it affords. I use that loosely because my fingers are freezing right now, and it's, while it is literally freezing out, it isn't like single digits. So I think these must be for like Florida or Georgia winters, because they certainly aren't for you know, anywhere, even temperatures that are right around the freezing. It's just, they just don't do that great of a job. So anyway, I'm digressing. Have a great one, everybody. Take care, and we'll talk soon.